Amanda Lennon is an employment partner at the law firm and wealth advisor Spencer West. She told me why it's a controversial move for companies to take a tough stand on vaccination.
I think it's a risky policy at this point in time because the UK government hasn't mandated the vaccine in the workplace. I think we need to be, as employers, considerate of the different views of employees. It's tricky because on the one hand, if everybody is vaccinated based on the information that we've got available to us today, then that will enable businesses to put in place fewer COVID-secure measures. But on the other hand, there are employees who may not want to have the vaccine at all, or may be very wary about it, very nervous about having it, and it's possible, we'll have to see how the case law develops in this area, but that not wanting to have the vaccine could be a philosophical or even religious belief in some cases that turns out to be protected by the Equality Act, and therefore it would be discrimination to try and force the vaccine on those employees. And we'll have to wait and see what happens with tribunal cases in those areas, but I think that they may come up in the near future if employers push those sort of policies.
For some employees, though, the idea of working in a workplace where everyone is vaccinated might well be seen as an advantage.
Absolutely. If you have the example of Pimlico Plumbers, the CEO there, Charlie Mullins, has been very clear about no jab, no job. And I can understand that where employers are asking employees to go into people's homes, as his workers would need to do their work, then there is a real argument for having the vaccine. However, because it's not mandated, it's going to be very difficult to just implement that. That's going to require a period of consultation and the views of both the detractors and those in favour taken into account. Ultimately, I think if, as an employer, you're introducing a vaccine policy, you should do a consultation and understand what the views of the workforce are.
In the case of the Wall Street bank Morgan Stanley, it's not only banning unvaccinated staff from its New York office, but clients too. This is a pretty risky move.
I think it is quite risky, and also those statements have been made very publicly, which is also a concern to me. Businesses like banks and other commercial enterprises will clearly be thinking about the interests of their clients and how to return to normal as much as possible following the pandemic. But in my view, the world will not be the same again. Ways of working and employee expectations won't be the same again. And so to have such a broad brush approach about coming to the office, I think, is risky. From a client perspective, if you're being told you can't come to your bank to have a meeting unless you've been vaccinated, that could in some cases sway whether the client takes their business elsewhere.
The European Union looks set to extend the grace period to